A driving view of the entire historic Heights Boulevard. I recently acquired a 1956 edition of a history book of the Houston Heights from years 1891 to 1918. And while I haven't quite finished the entire book just yet, I wanted to share with you an excerpt about the Boulevard, as they originally called it. My name's Mariam Hejazi. I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for over 12 years, and I have been loving Houston since 1987. Let's get into it. I recently acquired this book at an estate sale several weeks ago, and I have been going through all of the passages and totally entranced by the history of my city. So here we go. I'm going to share with you an excerpt about the Boulevard, as they used to call it. Houston Heights is possibly the only old addition near Houston where the streets are laid out only to vary 6 degrees from true north and south. Mr. Cooley was chiefly responsible for planning the boulevard, and that street remains his great memorial. It is the oldest street in the vicinity of Houston, which has needed no change in 65 years to widen its service area nor enhance its beauty. With its original esplanade in the middle and one-way thoroughfare on each side. It is doubtful that in this part of the Gulf Coast country that any other street has received as much notice for its natural beauty and its fortunate landscaping. Time and time again, the Boulevard scores the leading picture in the Sunday magazine section of all of the Houston newspapers. One article deals with then and now, centered around the fact that most of the pine trees have vanished. Another showed springtime blossoming of willow oaks that some of the old-timers called pin oaks. The latest article by Sigmund Bird, the Houston Chronicle, May 10th, 1955. Remember that this book was published in 1956. This article in 1955 paid homage to the most beautiful street in Old Houston or the New, and showed the boulevard resplendent in its glory of its new streetlights. Long ago, when ostrich feathers, the bigger the better, and feather boas and long skirts with frill and stoush braid and lacy jabots for trimming, and new collars built up on wire supports made milady something truly wonderful to behold, why Sunday promenading in a carriage or on high heels along the boulevard was Houston's original concept of a Fifth Avenue Easter parade. What a fun image that is to have in mind. Now I'll read you a little bit about the bridges. 1893, there was an article published in Houston Illustrated, and it gives us details on the bridges that linked the Heights to Houston. Across the bayou on the boulevard, there were twin bridges, 60 feet apart, 45 feet wide, and 250 feet long. They were built on cedar pilings, 9 feet abreast. Each bridge took 65,000 feet of lumber, so solidly put together that any vehicle or weight could be sustained. The next notion is evidence of the determination of the land company to ensure the beauty of its main street. One bridge would have sufficed, but 2 were necessary to maintain the uniformity and beauty of the boulevard. And to give you a little bit of background information on Mr. Cooley, who I referenced earlier in the video. Mr. Cooley was in the Omaha, Nebraska Land Company. Actually, it was called the Omaha and South Texas Land Company, and it was organized in Nebraska about 1887. Now, remember, in 1887, this is only like 35 or 40 years after the Battle of the Alamo. So this is very early Texas history. So the Omaha and South Texas Land Company bought 1,765 acres of land northwest of Houston, Texas. And the last fun fact I'll leave you with is the tract was 75 feet above sea level and 23 feet above the level of downtown Houston. The name Houston Heights was then a natural title and gave confidence to the people hunting for a healthful location. It is a matter of history that during the terrible yellow fever epidemics that periodically struck Houston, many people would flee to the Heights and camp out until the siege subsided. The West Montgomery Road that ran through the woods was well traveled, and the sale of lots in the Houston Heights did not begin until 1892. Now, if you found this video as interesting and enthralling as I did, please share it with someone who would also appreciate the history. My name's Mariam Hejazi. I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for over 12 years, and I've been loving Houston since 1987. It would mean the world if you could share, like, or subscribe. And remember that I specialize in older homes and helping families through estates. Reach out if you need any help, and I will be bringing you more amazing Houston history in the weeks and months to come. Let me know what area of town you'd like to learn about next. Until then, bye.